So today we're going to work on a brand new behavior. This is what we call mat behavior, but it's really just going to the mat and lying down and relaxing. So this is a really good behavior when you've got an anxious dog because it kind of provides them with like a little bit of a safety place to go to. For my 8.5-year-old husky, she's never been around kids before. Up until recently when my sisters started having kids and stuff like that. So now what I do is I'll lay down her blanket, and it's really clear communication to me that she's overwhelmed because when she's overwhelmed, she gets up and she goes to her blanket. This is also a really easy way to reinforce calm behavior. If you don't like a dog on your couch, you can always have the mat next to your couch and reinforce her for laying on the blanket instead. You can use this to combat counter surfing, so she's not looking for food on top of your kitchen counter. You can use this at the vet's office, have a nice safe space for her to relax at the vet. A lot of times the vet lobby can be really chaotic. And then, of course, when you've got company coming over, there's all that excitement at the door. You can also use this behavior to keep her calm while you're letting guests in. This behavior really has an endless amount of uses, just as creative as you can be with this behavior. Again, it's just going to help encourage calm behavior and stuff like that. So the way that I'm going to teach this is through shaping, which is basically just clicking and treating her for small approximations of the eventual goal behavior. So for example, with the mat, I'm going to click and treat her for looking at the mat, stepping towards the mat, 1 paw, 2 paw, 3 paws on the mat, sitting on the mat, and then laying down on the mat. And then once she lays down on the mat, we're really going to jackpot her. And what I mean by that, just kind of treat after treat, like a conveyor belt feed, so that she can really understand that the mat is a positive place to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get her from that down position. I'm going to throw a treat away so she gets up to go get it. And then when she comes back, I'm going to be ready to lay down this blanket and click and treat her for going to the blanket. And there's a few treats over there for her to find. So we'll give her a second here. I recommend picking something easy to carry around, like a bath mat or a blanket. I'm putting the treat on the mat. I'm just using her kibble right now. And she, of course, has learned that sitting and laying down are positive things. The goal of this is really just to teach her that it's not just laying down anywhere, it's specifically laying down on this blanket. So she has a tendency to want to lay down beside me a lot. I think a little bit of that is bashfulness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set her up for a little bit more success. And I'm going to move this blanket beside me. Again, I'm putting that treat on the blanket. So she laid down, I click once, but then I'm just going to give her one treat after another here, or one piece of kibble after another, to really make it kind of stick out in her brain that it's a positive experience. And then I'm going to take another piece of kibble, I'm going to toss it away for her to get up to go get. She's not very good at finding the treats yet, that's okay. Look, hey, Sadie. I'm ready to click as soon as she goes back to it. I love that her body already kind of reorientates back. Nice, good girl. Again, we're gonna do one treat after another. We're not gonna do this forever, but the start of this behavior, it's really helpful so that she knows that laying down on this thing is like awesome stuff. So again, take another treat, I'm gonna toss it. Love that she's immediately going back to it. Take a treat, toss it so she gets up to go get it. And now I'm going to move the blanket a little bit because I don't want it to be just about her laying beside me. I want it to be specifically teaching her to lay down on the blanket there. There we go. So the more and more I move this blanket around as I'm working with her, practicing in new positions where maybe I'm sitting, I'm standing, you know, maybe on my knees, that kind of thing, the more she's going to really generalize this behavior. For dogs, when you switch up that picture, they tend to get a little bit confused because they don't generalize very well. So now I'm going to take a treat and I'm going to throw it in a different direction this time. And again, I'm going to move the mat just a little bit. Click as soon as she comes back to the mat. Again, I'm going to do just a few treats here. I'm going to toss one away again. Now I'm going to move it in front of me just to see if she's going to come back in front of me. We'll let her think about it a little bit. You're so smart. You're the smartest. If you notice, I'm not saying a cue yet. I don't think she's ready for that. A cue would only be added when we know that she's really good at this behavior and it's already starting to be mastered. Okay. Go back this way. You're so smart. Okay, so keeping all sessions short, I'm going to take a few treats, toss them away. As she's going to get them, I'm going to pick up the blanket. Whenever I'm not practicing with the blanket, I'm going to pick it up. So that way it stays really valuable. Every time it's out, she's going to get reinforced. I'm going to tell her, awesome.